We got a big one here for you today, the level 10 boss guide, all about this guy right here, Brown Sugar Guardian Golem, when it comes to the Decadent Choco Cake Tower, my friends. And also, we got an all-auto one. However, we're going to break down some key pieces on why this one can be fairly difficult for you here today, because that's what we're going to do. Now, with that, if you got a question or comment along the way, do let me know. I'd love to hear from you as always, and feel free to like and subscribe. It's a great way to support the channel. We're going to give you the 4 T's. That's the tactics, the treasure, the toppings, and the team in order to get by and succeed and beat down the Brown Sugar Guardian Golem, because it is and has to be a beatdown for this one. So all those timestamps are available to you down below with a lot of other great information to keep you in the know, and they're in the description. So let's get into it here, because we got a few things for Tower Tray 10 Brown Sugar Guardian Golem. First and foremost, this thing applies attack and attack speed debuffs. When attacked with multiple regular attacks within a certain period of time, this enemy's magic flash deals extra damage on the summoner. They sleep periodically to restore HP. Debuffs are dispelled before falling asleep. So a couple things here. This guy has a very problematic way for us to try and get by. The sleep and the restore and the debuff dispel is awful. It is awful. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Shred slashes at cookies and knocks them back. Ravage bites at foes and deals damage. Pounce leaps forward to attack foes. Magic Flash fires a beam to deal damage. Curls up and falls asleep to heal. Our recommended cookies here are pumpkin pie, licorice, and latte. What they all have in common is the ability to stifle that restore on the HP. We're going to talk about that a little bit more here in a second. Now, additionally, special conditions: min cookie level 70, skill level 70, min cookie grade is 5-star. Everything else doesn't really work. Topping bonus effects, everything else X. The thing that is very important here as a free-to-play player is actually 2 things. The biggest thing is the biscuits. Yes, use your biscuits, level those up. Those substats are very important for the tower here and Tray 10. Additionally, here as a free-to-play player, it's actually not terrible. It's more balanced because we can get to that 5-star, so we don't have to worry about things. Anyone that's got a promotion as Ascension, it's going to be a huge benefit to you. So I think it's pretty balanced from that perspective. So I always like to call that out. So a couple things here on this particular boss before we get in the team. The healing and the debuff happens at the 30s. So at 1:30, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. It's going to happen 3 times. The thing recovers like 5 million plus health. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I've tried to just burn it down, make it work. You do need some of that healing resistance here between these 3. So it is very important. Now, generally, the idea to time this is you use one of these right at that 31-minute mark, or the 1 minute or 1 second mark, in order to offset and reduce that healing. So the big thing here is with Licorice Cookie, and let's go ahead and talk about our team here. Here we go. We're going to use Licorice Cookie. Now, a couple things about this. The biggest piece is going to be this right here. The reduction is minus 60% for 12 seconds, stacks up to 1. So this is why it's very important. So if it's healing 10 million, it's only going to heal 4 million. You can outpace some of that heal. If you're on it full steam clear, I tried it multiple times just to see if I can do enough damage to get it down. Ultimately, I could gain, but I could not gain enough without the healing reduction piece in there. So this is the team that's focused around dealing damage and that healing reduction and survivability. There are no tanks in this. We're really focused on dealing damage with these 3 here. Healing reduction here, some damage because it's still on the attack stuff. We'll talk about that here in a second. These 2 to strip off the shields, those kinds of things, and Snapdragon for the buffs and the heal and a shield. So very important here. Kind of the MVP, one of the ones we really have begun to like a lot more in this Choco Cake Tower setting is Street Urchin. So much damage, it's awesome. And we'll take a look at some of the stats towards the end. Now, in terms of the treasures, we're on attack and cooldown. We want to keep the pressure up. Old Pilgrim Scroll, Squishy Jelly Watch, and Dream Conductor's Whistle. If you want, you could go on Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch here. You could also go Disciple's Magic Scroll. You could go on Crit if you wanted to as well. Potentially even Librarian's Enchanted Robes. Just a couple things there to kind of think about what you could swap out or change, depending on your levels, where you have with your team. Then in terms of toppings and biscuits, first and foremost, we do have the topping and biscuit guides here for many of these cookies, almost all these cookies. You can check them out here on the channel. Additionally, I have the playlist in the description you can check out if you're looking for certain things. Ideally, what we recommend is resonant and radiant toppings for these cookies. That is key when it makes sense. Now, additionally, when we do look at my biscuits, it's generally going to be legendary. They're generally going to be upgraded all the way if it makes sense. Well, from there. And then additionally, generally probably 2 substats. I'm not going through attunement for everything or resetting kind of everything. But again, that's based off stats. So I just like to do that as a free-to-play player. You can absolutely do those things, and it does make a huge difference. So here we're on attack, here we're on attack, here we're on solid almond for survivability. We're on attack. You could always flip over to attack on this one. Here we're on attack, and here we're on cooldown. So that is the team for you. We're at 1.33 million against a 1.54 million. So these things are getting harder. Strategy is really, really key on this one. Again, you can do that timing if you want to at the 30-second mark, at the 31, like I said. That makes a huge difference. This team will auto it for you, though. So I like to call that out. It is something unique, particularly on my team. And then if we do go back to our toppings and biscuits, you can see the effects here on where all the cooldown is, so that you can see these things. I'll just share them quickly so you can see it. In case you got questions, you can pause it and check these out. Just if you're looking to match this pretty quickly, and here bonus effects are deactivated. Here again, and then last but not least, this is the big one here for me: topping effects, equip effects, those kinds of things as well. And last but not least, there we go. All right, so you can see cooldown, all that stuff. All right, so that, my friends, is all you need to know about the Brown Sugar Guardian Golem. Let's go prove it right now for you here today. So a couple things with this. The biggest thing on this is this team can put out a lot of damage. And it gets that lovely right here, receive increased crit damage and that healing down. Getting enough healing down, allowing it so that not enough recovery happens, and giving us an ability to get by. So there it was a little bit early. If you caught that, there it's filling back up. Now, what's going to happen with my particular team is if you're watching, some of the stuns, some of these things can throw this off just a little bit and get me in there just enough to deal enough damage, just like that. We're almost halfway with a minute left. That is a huge key. Again, getting our healing down. This team's able to burn it down by quickly moving through. And here you go before we get to that 30-second mark. Boom. And there it is, my friends. Such an incredible team in order to get by. This was a very, very difficult one for me to make it happen. And I'm so excited about that and able to make it work for you. Fun fact, I did run this video multiple times and did it on the manual and then just let it go a few times, and yes, it is an auto team, at least for me. So got it. Now with that, I may post I probably will post the other one as a blooper or something in the membership, so you can check that out if you're a member, those kinds of things. So anyway, with that, that is the Decadent Choco Cake Tower Tray 10 here, the Brown Sugar Guardian Golem. Super excited about taking it down here today. Now, if you still got questions, if you got comments about it, do let me know. Like I say, I'd love to hear from you as always, and feel free to join us in our Discord server. Many of you posting all your stuff in there. It's great. I love seeing you beating these things. I love seeing it in the comments, all those things. And once again, key things here is the 4 T's, the tactics, the treasure, the toppings, and the treasures to help you get by. Now, we did talk about that key piece at that 30-second, the healing, and then talked about some of the things that you can do different with your team, and provided a full-blown auto team for you to get by. With that, thank you as always for tuning in today. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow this amazing community here. And thank you to all of our members. Maybe you'll see that video out there. If you're a member, feel free to join. It's a nice way to support the channel. Additionally, because they're available to you. Additionally, we do have affiliate links that you can check out as well, swag and merch. And don't forget our socials. At me, chat me, my friends. Stay connected. I'd love to see what you're doing and staying in touch. Lastly, my friends, enjoy. Keep on running. We got 5 more trays to go here for the Decadent Choco Cake Tower. We'll see you. Take care.